I want you to get ready. Only thing I want you to do is to be ready. This is the broadcast that will talk about open and honest conversations every time we come live. I want you to get ready. Get ready, prepare yourself. Things happen all the time. There's always things coming at us. Get ready, strap your seatbelt on real tight, and get ready because you are embarking in. This is
The Raheen Ashimi Show.
What do you say to that?
That it was good. Then all the singing kicked in. I was like, "Whoa, that was unexpected."
Exactly. Hey, I had to get that's my intro. That's my wife, man. She sang that for me. Yeah, she sang that
That's
intro,
what's up.
the new Raheen Aljamain show. I say, look, I need you to sing this little. I just need you to this little bit right here. Sing that part, the Raheen Aljamain show, and we're gonna leave it right there. So, I showed it to her, man. Everybody that saw it so far, this is the first time actually using it on the broadcast. Everybody seemed to like it, man. So that's a good thing. And we covered a lot of bases in that intro about a lot of the we have on the broadcast or the broadcast. But anyway, enough of that. I'm going to say good morning, Lord. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Raheen Aljamain Show. Now, I know that you're expecting real men being men, and real men being men will be back. We'll be back in this time spot. We're just actually doing the Raheen Aljamain Show in this time spot right now. We're going to transition, move the Raheen Aljamain Show to its own spot and bring real men being men back. So bear with us for a couple of weeks. Don't know how long exactly it's gonna be, but it's not gonna be long. Raheen Aljamain show is gonna be here just for a second or two. Then we're gonna move that and bring real men being men back to its spot. And so my name is Raheen Aljamain. I'm just a question asker, but this is my brother from another mother, but we got the same father. This, what up, though? This is Ryan. What's up, brother?
What up, though? Ryan
Man,
from Detroit.
from Detroit, from the Detroit, Michigan. There you go. There you go. You got the D on the arm. Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. We're gonna kick this thing off, man. I'm gonna kick it off. We got a few people that's actually gonna come in as well throughout the course of the night. And like I said, we're gonna be here for 1 hour. Phone lines are open 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Gonna kick it off right now. I'm gonna ask you this question, Ryan. How do you keep going? Ryan, asking you, how do you keep going when the road gets super rough, when the road gets rough? Don't look like you can see your way out. Don't seem like it's just tough. Life happens and all the things that goes along with it. How do you keep going, Ryan?
Uh, you know, a lot of it for me is just looking around. Um,
Hmm.
my kids, my wife, they keep me going. My grandparents, they keep me going. Um, my internal drive. You know, I I've talked about it before. I grew up super rough, super poor. So,
Hmm.
not that I'm some bastion of wealth now, but
Hmm.
uh, as far as family is concerned, I am. But I have an internal motivation to provide my family with way more than what I had as a young
Hmm.
person. So that's pretty much my full on. You guys to keep moving, brother. Let's go.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm. And that's good. And I know this broadcast tonight, man. This broadcast gonna help a lot of people in so many different ways. And I'm gonna dig in just a little bit. But have there ever been a time in your adult life, as a husband or as a father, have there ever been a time where it got rough on you, man, and you was like, man, I don't know what, but you won't tell anybody because us being men, a lot of times we're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna put that part out there because we're men. We're supposed to be the providers, protectors, and supposed to be the strength, supposed to be that certain strength. So, what do you do? What do you do during those times, man? When life calls you.
Mm. Um, see, that's the hard part for me because I don't really like, I do internalize a lot of things, and I will hold on to it for a while. And then my wife, she'll poke at me because she
Mm-hmm.
knows. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so eventually I end up just talking about it. And as soon as I talk about it, it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's a lot of times where, like you said, as men, we get these thought patterns that go through our minds when it comes to finances and things like that, where you're just like, man, I don't see a way out of this. I need
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
something
Yeah.
else. Maybe I need to pick up another job, or maybe I need to go through my stuff and sell some things, or cut back on things. And
Mm-hmm.
the worst is when you decide you're going to cut back on things, and then you realize you done already cut back on everything. And
Yeah.
you're trying to figure out what else can I cut back on. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to talk about certain situations and scenarios as a man,
Mhm.
but I
Yeah.
think that that's something that we need to learn and be able to, as men, open up more about, even if it's confiding in another guy, because they'll
Mhm.
understand. Women
Yeah.
most of the time don't really understand the true things that roll around through a man's head, because it's not always about getting in somebody's pants, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Exactly. Exactly. Wow. That's good. That's good. We got Tucson here with us. Tucson. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? This morning, this evening,
Whatever time it is, what time of day it
whatever time.
is. Good out,
Exactly.
good out, good evening. Good evening. Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Ryan and Rico. Good evening, brothers.
We
What's
asked a
going on,
question.
Mr. Tucson?
It's good, man. It's
We
good.
asked a question, Tucson. And we're talking about life tonight. And is this I think I really feel as though this conversation that we're going to have tonight is going to help a lot of people that's listening in, that's tuning in, and that's going to watch this later on. Um,
Mhm.
because they look at us as men, and there's gonna be some females that's gonna come on with us as well. I'm hoping they come through. But as men, a lot of times, man, we have to carry a lot. We have to a lot,
Mm,
internalize a lot, and certain things we're not gonna say, we're not gonna talk about. Certain things we're not gonna talk about. We do certain information we're not gonna divulge to anybody. We're gonna hold on to it. So my question tonight is, how do you keep going when the road gets tough? When the road gets tough, man, and you almost feel as though you're ready to give up or ready to, check it in, man. And no. Not when I say check it in, not commit suicide, but just give up on everything, man, because it's
mm,
rough. It's rough. What do you do?
mm. I I um I check in with my investors. Let me tell you why I say that.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain people that are in my circle automatically,
Mm-hmm.
and I invest in people.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that most of us are encouragers. We encourage people. It's
Exactly.
gonna be all right. It's okay. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna make it.
Mm-hmm.
Hang in there.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. No matter what goes on, it's gonna get better. We do this on a constant basis. I think most of us here, right here, does that
Mm-hmm.
for the most part. I don't
Yeah.
care how hard it gets. For us, we always looking at a brighter side.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get to the point where I done encourage myself out and drain myself. And I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, here, right now, I count on you all
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
for real.
Yeah. That's good.
That's why I'm careful about my circle
Mm-hmm.
because if I invest in you and you can't invest in me, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I'm always if you're never there, or if I'm never there for you, then I'm not a healthy part of your circle.
That's right.
You hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's times in each one of us our lives, and we always iterate God in our conversation because He's the source.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Him that puts everybody in the right place in the right time in our lives,
Come on.
so that sooner or later you're gonna have to look to them for spiritual growth, for physical growth, for emotional health, because it's not about money all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because some things money can't solve, especially when you feel like giving up. You didn't went out of your resources, so the money ain't gonna help you.
Yeah.
But those true friends, see, and I'm gonna cut this off right here. True friends, you don't have to um be from in the same community or in the same city or in the same state with them.
Mm-hmm.
True friends come in when you need them,
Yes, sir.
wherever they are.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
so what I do, because you find, if you know, and I know,
Mm-hmm.
that people that you really know that are right around you, that grew up with you, that are familiar with you, you can't even look to them.
Mm-hmm.
People that you associate with every day, because they know who you are, who know who you come from. They never think you're gonna be nothing anyway.
Yeah.
So investing in them is a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
So I reach out beyond my city and my state to unfamiliar faces. And sooner or later, I friend them, they friend me. And when we need each other, we come through.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
That's good. That's good.
And that's what I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good.
That's what I do.
We're gonna go a little deeper with this thing, man. And like I say, I hope and my prayer for this particular broadcast right here is that somebody is listening that need to hear what we're talking about. Rico, good evening, sir. How are you doing this evening?
I can't complain, man. How everybody doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Good to have you, brother. We are asking a question. Rico, life happens, man, in all kind of different ways. But Rico, when life gets real rough, gets real tough, man, that road is tough. It's hard to travel. When that road is, how do you keep going? How do you tell yourself, or how do you encourage yourself? I can't give up right now. I have to keep going. Maybe there's some people that's dependent on you. And Rico, there's a lot of people that depend on you. What do I need to do? How do I keep going? What do you do, Rico?
That part right there. I self-assess and I ask myself, why do I keep doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Or why should I keep doing it?
Mm-hmm.
So I think what my answer is I try to find out my why, my reason for even doing this in the first place. I do a self-assessment. Am I doing it for the right reason, or am I doing it just for some type of arrogance or ego type of thing? Is this just some type of desire, ambition that I have? What am I trying to prove?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do that self-assessment. You know, I do like Donald, man. I like what he said. I'll reach out and I have other friends, you know, I meet people out of state that I can relate with, and hopefully they get an understanding of me, to the point to where they can say, well, okay, this is the reason why you did it. Like I know why you try to sing. After listening to your wife sing, I see why you keep on trying. You know what I'm saying? So it takes some friends to sit back and notice, okay, that's why he keeps trying to say he can't take no more. He's trying to one up his wife, but you got a long way to go. You know what I'm saying? But you got to find out. You gotta ask yourself why you keep trying to sing. See, now you might not know why. You might not know why, but now I know why. I don't sat back and I don't assess the whole situation. Like, oh, listen at that voice his wife got. So that's why he be on that who women and harmony and women.
Well,
So I self-assess, man. I self-assess, man. I check out. I try to ask myself, man, my reason. What's my purpose in doing this, man? What am I trying to accomplish?
This dude just took a dirty turn on.
I don't give your wife a compliment, man. That sounds good.
That's right.
Yeah, you give her a compliment, boy. You knocking the mess out of me, though. Look, I just do it like this here. Thank you for that compliment you gave a wife, man. Thank you. I can't say nothing about what you just said to me, man. But yeah, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
I get it. I understand. I know why you do it now. You just keep on.
Keep trying. Boy, look at here, boy. Lord Jesus. Let me go to Ryan. Ryan, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Boy, that joker took a dirty turn on me that time.
I agree with Tucson a lot in that because some of my closest friends, I'm talking 18, 19, 20 years, I've been friends with them, and we don't even see each other face to face. Like
Mm-hmm.
we play video games together on the
Mm-hmm.
internet. Met them 20 years ago. We still, we know each other's names, we know each other's kids, we know each other's wives, what we do, and we just get together every single day for a couple
Mm-hmm.
hours and just hang out. And I'm more connected to them sometimes than I am to people in the flesh because people in the flesh always got some sort of ulterior motive sometimes.
Mm. Yeah.
So, but I mean, don't get me wrong, I got people in the flesh I can call on if I'm ever in a
Mm-hmm.
pinch. And sometimes you need that, right? You gotta uh, call on those peoples and hey, we need to go out somewhere. Just sit down. I need to lean on you a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
it's good to have those things for real because it helps you reassess and it gives you a moment to breathe because you're offloading that stuff off your mind, off your chest, and yeah, that's a good thing to do for real.
Mm-hmm. Because people don't understand, man, and we have Cassandra here. We're going to go to Cassandra as well. I want to hear from a female's standpoint. But Ryan, as men, our road is rough, man. Our road is rough. There's a lot that we have to deal with. And a lot is coming at you. And that's why I love that new opening that we got for the Raheen Ashimi show, because it says there's things that come at you in so many different ways. And it is, man. Especially, I'm not gonna say that it don't happen, because I know it happens to women as well. And they have to deal with a lot of our shortcomings. They have to deal with a lot of our shortcomings, man, and stroke our egos in a certain way that only they could do. At certain times, man, they have to really be there and stroke our egos and let us encourage us, if you will. But we still have those moments, Ryan. We still have those moments. Talk to me, brother.
Yeah, sometimes you can't get rid of it. I mean, I think you have to have some sort of level of faith in something, and because people aren't always the answer, and talking about it isn't always the answer.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it just goes deeper. Even self-assessment or self-realization ain't even enough. Sometimes you just gotta go through it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you end up better on the other side. At least that's happened for me on numerous occasions where I just
Mm-hmm.
had to just struggle, bust through it, and eventually come out on the other side. And I've learned something, I've gleaned something, and it makes me a better person for it.
That's good. That's good. We had, because I think she's back there. She go. Cassandra, good evening, young lady. How you doing this evening?
Hi.
Hey, Cassandra, we're asking a question, and I want to hear. We got Teresa on the phone. I'm coming to the ladies right now because I want to hear from y'all standpoint and how y'all deal with this situation. Because, like I just said, I know as a man, I know what we as men go through, but I can't say what you all go through. But I know that women, y'all have to carry a lot of the weight that we carry as well. And y'all have to, lift us up sometime and stroke our egos and let us know that even in a terrible situation, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. So, Cassandra, the question I'm asking tonight is, what do you do, or how do you keep going as a woman? How do you keep going when the road is so rough that you almost ready to just give up and give in and just let it do what it do, and that's just what it is? How do you keep going, Cassandra? How do you keep it moving?
I just take a couple of tokes on the crack pipe and then drink a little bit of alcohol.
Lord.
That'll get it. Till you come down from that high.
Oh man, you got us all.
Well, y'all wide
Didn't
open
see
tonight.
that coming.
Y'all wide open tonight.
I don't know why you at. You know what I'm gonna say. I don't even know why you play it. I'm gonna say I go to my source, which is
Yeah.
God, That's the
Mm-hmm.
only man. When I tell you, woo,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got nothing else. Look. You see that? I had to crack a joke because I ain't got nothing else. All I can say is God.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because when life happens, man, sometimes it can literally knock you off your feet. You have
Absolutely.
your head messed up and everything else messed up. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's all I can say. My source has always been God since I've been saved, and it will continue to be just God. No
Yeah.
crack, no alcohol, just God. Mm.
But see, and that's so powerful what you said right there, Cassandra. But why do you think it is? Why do you think it is that some people won't turn to that source? Why do you some people they going through it and they know it's rough and they know that the source is there? Why won't they utilize it?
Listen, you know, and as a Christian, y'all gonna probably be like, "What kind of Christian is she?" Man, all it sounds so easy for people to say, you know, just go to God when all hell breaking loose. You
Mm,
know, that sounds real easy to tell people, but
yeah.
I don't do that to people because I know sometimes it feel like, where's God? It's times I say that as long as I've been saved, I'll be like, okay,
Mm,
God, where you at? Because do you
mm-hmm.
see what's happening right now? I can't, this is a little bit too much. So
Mm-hmm.
I never say that to people, you know, that why don't you just go to God? Because I know I'm being real and transparent about me. It's times when
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through that boy, Rico,
Come
boy,
on. Come on. Exactly.
boy, shit,
Mm-hmm.
I
Exactly.
don't know. I don't know. Cause I be on the floor crying, rolling around, everything, trying to get God attention. You know.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But see it, and that's it's so much time. So many. You left me so many different alleys I could go down. But let me go to Teresa. Teresa, good evening, young lady. How you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Good to have you as well with us. And I'm asking a question. What do you do? How do you keep going? Teresa, now the road is rough. Life is happening, coming at you in so many different ways, at so many different speeds, and right, left, everywhere you turn, life is happening. How do you keep going when that
Mhm.
road is tough? How do you keep going, Teresa?
Well, I'm like Cassandra with her first part for you, right? But to add to that, no, it's the good thing is now that I've learned to lean and depend on God, that is where I go for my source.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like Cassandra there. But when you do get to that point where you having to make a decision or things are just coming at you, and I take a breather.
Mm-hmm.
Take a breather. I take a step back and refocus.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm a goal oriented person, so I work off goals.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime that I'm off my goals, I get back on track. Now,
Mm-hmm.
when you can't get like that, now when it like when you get in a dark, what I call a dark space, and you're not able to get there, there is a point where you just lay there until.
Mm.
And I thank God that I'm able to pray through a lot of that, you know. But there are times, like Cassandra was saying, and you can't just say, yeah, just go to God. Just
Mm-hmm.
go to God.
Yeah.
There's times when you faced with things where that's not your first thing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And in my prayers too, I have decided to pray about having God send people to be in my circle, so that when things happen like that, that they are available to me, and
Mm-hmm.
it has happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yes, you're gonna get down. Yes, things are gonna happen to you. Some people like to self medicate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just real talk.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
will self medicate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that we as a community need to understand. People will do that. That's why you have to be kind and compassionate to every soul, because you never know what a person is going through.
Exactly. Exactly. Rico, how the old folk, how the young folks say, I guess it is. We're gonna keep this 100. We're gonna keep it 100. And I'm gonna ask you this question because a lot of times, and I love what Teresa and Cassandra, they say they go to their source. But a lot of times, Rico, truth being told, when a person is going through it and they feel like they're hitting the bottom of the bottom, sometimes they just don't want to hear you talk about God, man. Sometimes that's not what they want to hear. They want solutions. And that is a solution, an absolute solution, but they don't see it. Don't come over here talking to me about no God. Don't talk to me about that. I don't want to hear that. Man, do you know what just happened? I got a friend just lost his son, man. Son was murdered last night. He don't want to hear right now about God, and I know he's saved, but he don't want to hear that right now. He just lost his son. His only son. Rico, talk to me, brother.
I get it. I mean, we are emotional creatures. And in that sense of being emotional, sometimes we go through things that we want something to happen opposite of that immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we're looking for a miracle.
Yeah.
I wish I could go back in time. Oh man, how
Mm-hmm.
many times have everybody on this planet has said they wish they could go back in time so they could see somebody that has passed on, or so they could do this and that over.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't want to talk about God because you don't know that miracle that you're wishing for is not coming.
Mm-hmm.
So the flesh wants you to do something that you can do or control.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if the person that killed your son, maybe if you could get your hands on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then God did you a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, God, for blessing me and serving him to me on this platter.
I got
now
it from
I'll be able to get some, and I can get some get back.
Mm-hmm.
My son, I might not be able to get my son back, but I could take somebody's son from them.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's that flesh, it's that immediate gratification. We are all behavioral creatures and behavioral addicts. You know what I'm saying? And when you start talking about how do we cope, how do we adjust or deal with some of these things, man? Some people do some dope, some people gamble, some people go and have some sex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get my rocks off. Ooh, I feel so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Have old drinky drink, like Martin used to say.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
so many different things, man. And some people might go exercise, cut grass. They might plant flowers, but they looking for something to distract them. Something that they can control. See, they can't control what God does, so they can't. I don't want to talk about God right now, because if I told God to bring my son back, He ain't gonna bring him back. But what I can do is do something myself. I don't know what I'm gonna do right now. Maybe if I do plant some flowers, I'll feel better. Maybe I just go and blow a whole bunch of money. I was looking at this show the other night. I think it's called First Day In. It's on A&E. It's like a knockoff of 60 Days In. I'm gonna say not a knockoff, a sequel. And this woman was saying that her husband was on life support, and she was going through a lot, and she decided to have her a few drinks while she was there. Well, I think she had some words with her dad because she frustrated. Like she said I think she said she's getting ready to take him off life support, and got caught DUI, driving under the influence. She didn't know whether or not she wanted to smile or just be like, "Oh, I made a mistake," or cry. She went through all of those emotions. You could tell she didn't know what to do. The best thing that could have happened for her was a miracle. We'll let you go. But that ain't what happened. So she had all these different emotional sides that she showed. She cried, she smiled, she was being nice, she was acting professional, and then she was remorseful. I mean, it was just so many different mood swings that she had just from that incident. So it lets you know that when you're in the flesh, man, you cope with things the best way you can. Sometimes in positive ways, sometimes in negative ways. But that flesh is calling and desiring and crying for something. And for those people that don't want to call on God, it's because they don't want the blessing a year from now.
Wow. Life. And that's what we're talking about tonight, life. And asking a very simple question. How do you keep going when the road gets rough? How do you continue? How do you keep moving when the road gets rough? And it seems as though you can't see your way. Ryan, talk to me, brother.
I'm here. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Got a lot of conversation going on in the background. You repeat that for me? I'm sorry.
No, asking the same question, man. What do you do? Most people, and it's been said that they go to God. Some, and Cassandra, I love how she came in because she came in and she made a joke, but a lot of times, the reality, a lot of people do turn to alcohol or drugs and things of that nature because they having to deal with situations in their life that they don't want to deal with, and so they turn to, like Teresa said, self-medicate. They self-medicate themselves. But that's not the answer, because at the end of the day, when that high come down or that drunk wears off or whatever, the problem is still there. Rico said to go out there and cut grass or plant or plant flowers and stuff like that. That's I think that's a part like that's like a therapeutic type thing that the person does.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
like Rico said, it's trying to distraction, trying to take your
Mm-hmm.
mind off of it. Um, and I was thinking back on what Cassandra was saying. When you got somebody that's going through something, sometimes the worst thing you can do is, excuse me, tell that person give it to God, because
Mm-hmm.
it makes it feel extremely disingenuous.
Yeah.
Like it's a blanket statement. You
Mm-hmm.
know how you show up at church and sister or brother so and so are always saying, "I'm blessed and highly favored," when you know they broke, busted, and disgusted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's uh it's a hard thing, especially when you're trying to walk that path of faith, to just blanket statement stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like you're trying to mask it, you're trying to hide it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the same thing with drugs and alcohol, gambling, um, but then at the same time, you know, planting flowers or whatever, that could be your zen. That could be your thing, that
Mm-hmm.
you out there tending to your garden, and it gives you that opportunity to self reflect. Like something like that, I could get behind rather than drugs and alcohol and
Yeah.
doing something that's gonna make you worse off in the end. You know, gambling
Mm-hmm.
or doing going out getting some tail or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, you're gonna have even more regrets than you started with most of the time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
got
Exactly.
yourself in a bad spot, and now you just
Mm-hmm.
made it worse because you just can't, cope. And
Mm-hmm.
I really think like that's one of the biggest struggles of being a human being, is how to deal with these hard spots in life, because they happen every single day, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's just small little minute things. It starts out the tiniest thing, and all of a sudden it done blown up elephant size, and you done let it go for so long without trying to get some help or trying
Mm-hmm.
to talk to somebody or trying to get it off your chest, that now it's so big you have no idea what to do, and you did it to yourself
Yeah.
because you've
Wow.
let it go for so long.
Mhm. Teresa, how do you deal with it when you have a friend? You have a friend and you know that friend is actually going through, and you try to talk to them, but that they're not there. They're not there. How do you help the other person? How do you help another person make it through the same situation?
Okay, so um, because they're my friend and I know them, you can usually know that most of the time you're not going to ask them what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think just like someone was saying about telling folks to go to God or pray and all that kind of stuff, you just don't do that
Yeah.
when you have a friend that's not feeling their best.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I ask them something other than whatever it is maybe bothering them to get their mind off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's that time where you just sit with them. If you're sitting with them, just sit with them and don't say nothing.
Mm.
Most of
That's
the time,
good.
what I'm finding is people just want your presence.
Mm-hmm.
They got to say nothing. They don't need that. To know that someone is there for them is most important at that time. And
Mm-hmm.
they'll tell you later, but
Yeah.
just to be there is one of the things that I would do for my friend. That I do for my friend.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. And so with that being said, a lot of times, and you said it, a lot of times you don't have to say anything. You don't have to see. A lot of times people think, well, if I'm gonna be there, I gotta talk to this person, keep them talking. I gotta keep them mad. I gotta no, like you said, just your presence is enough. Do you agree with that, Teresa?
Oh yeah. Oh, you talking to me?
Yes. Sometimes just your
Yeah.
sometimes just your presence. You don't have to engulf them in this great conversation and dialogue and all this stuff. You ain't got to do all that. Just sit there and be quiet. Just sit there. Just be there. True.
Yeah. Even if it's on the phone too. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, same thing.
Yeah.
Be there.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. Rico, talk to me, brother. I see you shaking your head in acknowledgement. Talk to me.
Yeah, that's true. Just be an ear. Be an ear or a
Mm-hmm.
shoulder to lean on for that person that just want to, because sometimes, like say for instance, if somebody loses a parent, or something, they do, man, I can't believe I'm just trying to figure out what happened, man. I can't believe this just happened. The last thing they need for you to just say, I just talked to him yesterday. Ooh, I
Mm-hmm.
had a feeling, I had a dream. That
Mm-hmm.
they just want you to be there. So when they do want to talk, or really truly, they might not want to talk. They
Yeah.
just got a whole lot of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought about something you said, man, and I think I pretty much could break down the reason why it feels so uncomfortable when people say give it to God.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you or other people understand how helpless and powerless that feels.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't never really think about it till you said it, and then I stopped talking and I thought about it, man. Give it to God. I said, man, that means that it's out of your hands. You can't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You are helpless. You are powerless, and that is a terrible feeling. Nah, I don't want to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Go on
Mm-hmm.
away from here with that give to God stuff.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
tell you what I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's that's really what it boils down to. I think it's when you hear that, then that means it's an extreme situation that you really can't do nothing about. And man, that is the worst part about being a human, is going through things that you can't do anything about. You have no control over.
Exactly. Exactly. Wow.
But what I do is sometimes, when I get in those moods, man, I go watch children.
Mm-hmm.
I watch
Wow. That's
babies
good.
and children, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I like walking and going to the park, and I see they have those softball and baseball tournaments, man, and I see the children out there playing, the youth, and I'm like, that's what it's all about, the future. Life.
Mm-hmm.
I go and I
Exactly.
appreciate life.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We're talking about what do you do when the road gets rough? Life happens. And we all have our trials and tribulations. We all have been through tough times and tough moments in our lives. So what do you do? How do you keep going? What kind of advice would you give somebody if they're going through a situation? What would you say to that person? How will you assist them in making it through the situation? And maybe you've been through something similar or even the same. Ryan, what do you say to the person? What is the conversation like?
Um, it's really just about listening. I mean, we've talked about this before
Mm-hmm.
on the Morning Glow. Um, Lending the ear is vastly important, and not trying to interject all the time with your opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just want you to listen, and
Yeah.
uh, a lot of times when someone brings something to me, I'll sit and listen and kind of guide the conversation to where they're asking me for my opinion on certain things because I know
Mm-hmm.
I've been through certain things. And of course, every person in every situation is different. So you can't just assume just because you went through something and you fixed it or you resolved it or got through it that the same method is going to work for you. But
Mm-hmm.
that's the beautiful thing about life is we all go through similar situations and you can give your observations or your opinions or what happened or helped you and being a human being, the way your brain works is you can take in that information that you're receiving from someone who's been through it, and your brain will start to make it more malleable so that it
Mm-hmm.
can be formed into what's going to help you, right? Because your situation obviously is going to be different, but it's very similar. So, oh
Mm-hmm.
man, maybe if I look at this or take this avenue, it'll help me. Man, that's great, and then you
Mm-hmm.
can give that
Mm-hmm.
confirmation back to whoever you're investing that time with. But I think a lot of times is, like the book says, we're not made to be alone. So
Mm-hmm.
trying to tackle things on your own without seeking the help of close people that you trust, that you have 100% trust in, is a downfall of people, because we're so proud that we think we can handle everything ourselves, and we just can't.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Just can't. And that's the most powerful part of what you just said. We can't. So Teresa, let me ask you this question. You go to your friend and you know they're going through a moment, and you say to them, genuinely say to them, and this is what you want to do. You say, you know what? Let me hold your hand. Let me pray for you. Let me pray for you.
Mhm.
And they look at you and say, no, not right now. It's okay. No, no. How do you take that? Can you take it offensively? Do you think it's a knock against God, or the person just is not there at that moment? How do you receive that?
Oh, I just receive it as it is. If they're not ready for it, I
Mm-hmm.
don't do it with them out loud,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
But
good.
for me, I'm praying anyway,
Mm-hmm.
right? 'Cause, I'm just a praying kind of lady.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some people just don't like to do that. I think some people like to sit in whatever they're in for a moment. And what I'm praying about is for them to come out of that moment. And what I'm doing to them at the time is allowing them to have that faith. Sometimes you have to allow people to be angry. You have to allow people to go through their emotions. You
Mm-hmm.
have to allow them to be in their discouragement so that when they come out of it, they know that they were in it. And again, I just go back to just having someone in the presence there along the way will help them. I
Mm-hmm.
think, but yeah, I wouldn't force prayer. I don't force prayer on anyone. I'm always praying for them,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's good.
So,
Let me let me ask you this question, right? Better yet, let me go to Cassandra for a second. Cassandra's back with us. Um, I just asked a question, Cassandra, and you being who you are, you know your friend is going through something, and you say, you know what? Come here, give me your hand. Let me pray for you. And they say, no, no, not right now. That's okay. I don't want no prayer. Cassandra, how would you receive that? Would you receive it like I said, as Sister, Teresa a second ago? Would it be like a knock on God? We take it as a knock on God. They're just not ready, or how would you receive that? Because you
No,
know what your heart is.
yep. I would not feel any kind of way because I, in doing what I do, it's plenty times when people say, listen, don't come to me with no God crap right now. I don't want to hear that. My child gone, my mama dying, I've done lost everything. And guess what? I sit there and I be quiet. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because just your presence
Yeah.
means a lot to people. So it's not all the time you have to say anything. It's times I just sit with people. I may hold their hand, something to just let them know, hey, when you ready, if you get ready to talk,
Yeah.
I'm here. But that is no slight on God to me, and that is no slight on me as their friend. Or even if it's somebody I don't know, even if it's a stranger, I
Mm-hmm.
understand.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good. Tucson, how do you deal with this, man? You know that your friend is going through something. They're going through something right now, rough time, and they get to talking to you harsh and yelling and fussing and maybe even cussing at you. You know it's not them, man. It's just that they're going through a moment, but they're using you as a punching bag at that particular moment. How do you deal with that? Say it
So
again.
sometimes if that's what you need, then that's you see if a person has got to the point where they yelling and screaming and hollering and punching at you, they're not hurting you. They feel like
Mm-hmm.
they can do that with you.
Mm-hmm.
So you be that for them. Let them scream. Let them holler. Because what they're doing is releasing their stress, their
Mm-hmm.
emotions, their hurt, their pain that they're going through. And that's why they come to you in the first place, because they believe that you can handle that
Mm-hmm.
lean shoulder that they did. It's
Hey, hey,
you
Tucson, you like, hey, Tucson, you line, Tucson, your line is skipping, brother. Your line is skipping.
okay. So
If you
that's
could hear,
why
like,
that's why
yeah, you call in, brother. Are you able to call in? Okay. Yeah, you trying to get Tucson to call in on the phone line. I think we'll have a better connection if we call in on the phone line. Let me go to Shanavia. Shanavia, good evening, young lady. How you doing this evening?
Good evening. I'm all right. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. So it's good to have you. We're asking a question, and our question is based on this: how do you keep going when the road gets rough? How do you keep going when the road gets rough? And I want to talk to you from the counselor standpoint. If a person is you, a friend of yours, and they're going through something,
Mhm.
and you go, hey, how you doing? And they just get to fussing and cussing and acting up and doing all kind of things, man. It's, it's not them. That's not them, but is like to say that's like a release. I guess it's like a release for them to release all that pressure, but it's directly totally to you. How do you deal with that? Do you let them continue to do that, to cuss and fuss and push on you or whatever they're doing aggressively? Or do you say, look at here, I'm not even gonna say, how do you deal with that? And what is that moment like?
Oh man, I've been that friend. I think I'm that friend
Mm-hmm.
now. And I've been on the receiving end of that, but because I know their character and that individual me my character, my friends and I we know each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that it's a buildup.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me is almost annoyed whenever that happens because I understand where it's coming from. So usually my tactic is, I may say an ugly word, but I'm like, have you done yet? So let's
Mm-hmm.
get down to the real problem. Now that you got that out your system, what you feeling right now and where
Mm-hmm.
did it start? Because sometimes, and especially, let me be a little selfish for a second, because even as a therapist, we have those moments so often because we are the emotional landfill for so
Mm.
many people. And nobody ever thinks to ask us, you got like, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Genuinely ask us how we doing, whether that's friends and family, and not to put business out there or anything like that. But I'm grateful and I'm thankful for my support system, and thank you, Mr. Raheen, for reaching out to me because literally,
Mm-hmm.
you've been the only person this week that asked, how was I doing? Like,
Wow.
what do I have going on? And it's heavy because people expect us to have the answers even for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And truth be told, like until I got that chance to release to you today, I don't have an answer. I'm full. There's
Mm.
no more. I'm so full of everybody else's stuff to where I don't have the mental or emotional fortitude to think about what I need, but I know that I need something. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that frustration comes out, and not that. And I apologize if I'm the one that's lashing out, or either I'm aware enough of myself to where I'm just like, look, this has nothing to do with you, but I just need to get this out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I've been on both ends of it, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. And it is a lot. And like I said, it really takes a real special person to allow that person to continue to fuss and just sit there and just take it, because that this man, look, this ain't you right here. What you're doing and how you acting and how you coming at me right now, that's not you. So you need to get something off your chest. Rico, how do you do that? And Tucson, coming back to you, brother. I know you're on the phone line, but Rico, how do you do that, man? How do you allow these people or this person to vent on you like that? Because they're really assaulting you verbally.
Well, I think it might depend on what they say now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're talking about some verbal assault, now, I mean, that could go in a bunch of different directions. But I mean, venting, what I'm saying, that's a little different. And once again, you have to put yourself in their shoes and understand the human side. Look at the human side of yourself and understand that's what it is. Be understanding. I mean, sometimes you might come across somebody that never cries, but then all of a sudden you get around them in a certain situation and they cry. First time ever you seen them cry.
Yeah.
You got to be understanding. I ain't gonna sit there and be like, wow, I just saw you cry for the first time. I can't believe I saw you cry. I'm gonna be like, man, you know what? I understand why he crying now. I ain't never seen this joker cry, but I see he crying now and I understand. I get it. I believe it's just about, man, sort of being considerate and mindful of putting yourself in other people's shoes sometimes. I get where Navy coming from, man. I mean, sometimes it gets to a point where I almost get tired of people calling me crying. I mean, man, when I tell you, man, a lot of tears have been cried on my shoulders, man. You know what I'm saying? Up from city councilmen to mayors, you name it, man. I mean, like, people I don't hear from, all of a sudden when they need a shoulder to lean on, here they come. And look at me once again. I'm there.
Yeah.
But I understand. That's the reason why I'm there, because I do understand. And so, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. I know it's gonna be some times I need somebody to talk to, need somebody to vent to, and hopefully they just as understanding as I am, because I might get a little loud. I might start cussing. I might say some off the wall stuff. You know what I'm saying? But whoever I'm saying it to, hopefully they know, you know what, man, this ain't really him. This is his flesh. He just mad. This is his pride. This is his ego. This is his anger. You know what I'm saying? This is his pain. This is his trauma. That's all that is. That's coming from a bad place. But I know good and well they just need to get that out their chest.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's good. Tucson, finish your thought, brother. What's on your heart?
Yeah, what I was saying is that sometimes they do that because they know they can. And you're that guy or that girl or lady, whatever you want to call it. You're that person that they know they can do that. Just like what Jeff was saying. I think, is that right?
Shanavia?
No. Shanavia, okay. She said that, okay, since you got that out, what's the real problem?
Yeah.
But the thing about it is they needed to get that out. And the reason why they did that with you is because you're the type of friend that they knew they could do that with. I don't cry in front of everybody because some may laugh at my tears. So I hold them till the right moment. And then I'll break down. Everybody breaks down.
Yeah.
If you say you don't, you got some problems that you are holding in that's going to bust your bubble.
Exactly.
Everybody needs a release valve. Even the best counselor, the best pastor, the best preacher, I don't care what your title is, you need somebody to pour back into you at some point. And if you don't have that, you're going to explode.
Exactly.
Because none of us have a Superman's S on our chest. So when a person does that, I be that. And you're going to have to watch how you punch me. I ain't going to take too many blows. But you hear what I'm saying?
I heard you.
At some point, I'm going to say, okay, now, that's about enough of that.
Now, look at now you got one. You ain't getting out of it now. You got one. You ain't getting. You better ride with that one you got.
Even the Bible says turn the other cheek. Now I'm gonna turn it, but and I'm not gonna turn it for you to hit me again.
Wow.
I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is, and I'm gonna have to listen in, and I think we've almost done.
Yeah.
We need each other. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
We all are trying to be strong as we possibly can, but sometimes life gets overwhelming. So watch your circle.
Exactly.
And utilize the circle when it's necessary.
That's good. That's good. Ryan, talk to me, brother.
Yep. Um, it's kind of like what I've been saying over the last couple of days. Like, as human beings, we have limits, and you start, even in Navy's case, where she's taking in everybody else's information. That's her pouring out. That's her method of pouring out, and nobody's pouring back into her. So you become empty, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure that's uh, Cassandra could probably agree to that too, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what they do, right? They
Yeah.
take in everybody else's problems, but that drains them, and they need
Mm-hmm.
somebody to pour back into them. And I learned this from a pastor a few years ago. He said the same thing. Like, you're constantly pouring out your spirit to everybody else, and there's nobody reciprocating and pouring back into you. So then you
Mm-hmm.
start to feel alone. Your mind starts to wander. You start to experience all of these things that you don't want to experience because you're empty. Nobody's filling you back up. You got to have relationships that reciprocate. You got to
Mm-hmm.
have some way to get yourself refueled. Otherwise, you crash. So I think that that's very important. Uh, it goes along what I was saying the last time is, if you don't have anybody, you're not equipped to be alone. You're not supposed to be alone. So you have to, like Tucson said, watch your circle, but you got to have people that can fill you back up.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you just kind of cast out into the wilderness, and you looking around for that help, and you can give it to God as much as you want to, but you're a human being. You need that flesh and blood contact. You got to have somebody that you can lean on. Somebody just give you a hug. You know what I'm saying? You got to have
Mm-hmm.
something tangible, and I think that that's a key component to everyday life as a human being.
Exactly. And y'all know it, at one point in time I got to be a little silly. I got to be a little silly. Rico, he got the joke of the day though, boy. He got me earlier, but I ain't even gonna comment on that. But it's almost like that Kool-Aid jug. You go in the kitchen. It's hot day, man. You go in the kitchen and you want some Kool-Aid, and you reach into to the refrigerator and pour the jug out, man. And it's just a little corner. The little and you're mad, man, because it has not been replenished. That's mad. That make you, Rico. That make you mad, man. You want some Kool-Aid now? There ain't no Kool-Aid. Just that little corner. Somebody put the whole jug back in the refrigerator. Got a cold jug, but nothing in it.
That's the biggest way you can make a kid cry, boy. You ever seen a kid go in there and see it like that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ain't no more Kool-Aid, man. Look here. But yeah, it's a lot, man. And I said that just because of the fact that we have to, like Ryan said, we have to replenish, man. We have to refill, and we have to refill each other. We have a responsibility, man, to each other. Like I say, we say on here that we're family, and we are. We're family. And so we have to reach out to each other, man. Something's going on with either one of us, man. We need to reach out to each other. Are you okay? What's going on? What can I do to help you? And mean that. Don't let it be like Rico said a lot of time words are just sound that come out your mouth. You have to mean that. You have to mean it and be willing to do whatever it is that you're offering to do for that person. Cassandra, talk to me. Cassandra, wake up and go to
Give her a
sleep.
second. She driving.
Cassandra, you there?
Oh, hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Yeah, yeah,
Loud
yeah.
and clear.
Ryan, thank you for telling him I am driving. Look, and I have my windows down because my air ain't working. So
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I got to keep a certain speed. Look, I got to keep a certain speed and everything. No, I definitely, Navy man. I feel like Navy is looking, for me and a whole bunch of us. So even
Uh-oh. I think she might have hit a bad spot there. I think she might have hit a bad spot. Let me see.
She in the wilderness. She reaching out.
can you, hello.
It's going in and out. We can hear you. Go ahead. Keep going. It's going in and out a little bit, but I
Oh,
think it's gonna get clear now. I think you're in a better spot. There you go.
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, I said just like Navy says, and Rico. I think most of it's weird because most of the people on our panel are empaths and they counsel people even if they don't have degrees or whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
just in them. So I love that. But can I tell you sometimes it can be so draining and people say, well, you just talking to people. No. Remember when Jesus said that somebody touched him and there were like
Yes.
people around him and like all these people
Okay. I think you're back.
in that way. Someone I'm
Okay.
done.
Hold on. Okay. Good there. It sounded like you went a little French over there for a second, boy. That it was breaking up and coming in and out.
I
Sound
did
like you used a little.
not.
I'm just saying what it
No,
sounded like.
no,
I know you didn't. I know you didn't, but I'm just
you
saying it
know,
sounded like.
no,
Hey,
I
now
did not.
I know you didn't. I know you did not. But I'm just saying. I'm telling you how it sounded. Because it was going in and out. Sound like you use a couple of them old French words that we don't use on here. Seemed like they came across that time. I'm just saying what I heard now. But
Mm-mm.
Teresa, what's on your heart? Sinead, will come to you next, and then we're gonna get on out of here.
Yeah, I just I just want to share that actually got an opportunity. I call it an opportunity because I didn't know the person. I was at Smoke Bones, and the young lady just started talking to me, and then all of a sudden she started crying, and found out she just had to had to put her dad in hospice. I just wanted to share that because you just never know what people are really going through,
Yep,
right?
That's
exactly.
right.
And yeah, in the end, I so prayed for her, and we prayed together, and hugged the neck and all that kind of stuff. You better know, just lean on God for your strength.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
she said she really appreciated it. But it's just those moments, and too, somebody was talking about how sometimes you just don't even know that people attract to you to be able to be that person,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I call that's God, right? That's
Yes.
just all God, and you just got to be godly at that
Mm-hmm.
point.
Exactly. That's good. Shanavia, what's on your heart, sis?
Look, I got what I needed. I wasn't. I was just listening because this was good. Like I needed everything that I heard thus far because, like I said, I'm currently that friend, and
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. This is it's just a season and it's a transitioning that's taking place. It is difficult being a light source for everyone, and it's difficult. I no longer allow people to call me the strong friend because then it makes me immortal and it dehumanizes me honestly to a degree because then people feel like no matter what you're going through, you don't need that extra support because you got this, you do this for a living, you're the strong one. So
Yep.
while I be strong, I get exhausted and I get tired too. And so if anything, if I could leave anybody with anything, don't be afraid to offend people with your no,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that no looks like. And
Mm-hmm.
don't be afraid to ask for people to pour into you, even if you don't know what you need poured in.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Monitor the quality of what's being poured
Yeah.
into you because everybody is not, of the same caliber that you are. And they'll pour some trash into your spirit, and then you got a whole
Mm.
other mess. But
Wow.
I just appreciate what y'all poured into my spirit today because I really, really needed that energy because your girl was running on fumes today. So thank y'all.
Absolutely. Good deal. Rico?
I was thinking, man. It's hard saying no, though, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard saying no sometimes, man. When people need help or assistance, or when they are in need. Um, and I just don't know. I guess the words just came to me. being a comforter, being an optimist, and being a reasoner is like some of the things that I do when I'm the one that have to be the shoulder to lean on.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Mm-hmm.
wish I knew how to get other people to do the same thing when I
Yeah.
need that shoulder to lean on.
Mm-hmm.
Being a comforter, an optimist, and a reasoner. I mean, somebody that really, and I ain't meaning just saying it to be saying it. I mean, but somebody that really has a passion or they connect. They really feel it. Like Cassandra said a second ago, an empath. You
Mm-hmm.
can almost put yourself in their shoes.
Yep.
Yeah.
What would
Yep.
you want for you if you was
Yep.
in that situation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't think it's hard to do, but for some reason it seems like it is hard for people to do because it's few and far in between the people that I know of. You know what I'm saying? Besides, the group that I talk to on here, very few people that I'm able to just call and pour into.
Yeah.
Very few.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing. That's the whole purpose of this conversation, man. And I hope that somebody, like I said at the beginning, I hope somebody got some real serious out of this that helped them in some kind of way. Shanavia said it helped her. And so I hope that, and I hope and I pray that there's other people that realize, no, understand and realize, man, that you're not in this thing alone. We all go through things. We all have rough roads. The journey is not, it never said it was going to be easy. Never said it was going to be easy. There's going to be trials and tribulations, but you have to lean on somebody. We have to help and assist each other to make sure that we make it through. Have to make sure that we make it through. Who can I get the prayers out this evening? Teresa, can I get you the prayers out, sis?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Although we come with our hands stretched high, knowing that we're leaning and dependent on you. Lord, we want to just thank you for you, being God all by yourself. Lord, we want to praise you. We want to honor you. We want to give all the praises to you. And Lord, as we lead this discussion, we ask that we go with you and you go with us. Lord, bless every home that's represented on this call. And for those who are not feeling their best, Lord, touch their hearts, their soul, their mind, to give them the strength that they need to endure. Because we know that you are the beholder of all that we need. And Lord, we are dependent on you. And Lord, if there's anything that people need, anything that they desire, we ask that you give them the desires of the heart as they continue to honor you, as we know that you will get the praise. And Father God, as we go on, just let us sleep, rest well, thinking on you. And we ask these blessings and these prayers be answered and granted in your name. We do love you. We praise you. We honor you. Amen.
Amen.
Anybody got anything they want before we get out of here? I want to invite everybody to join us for the morning glow. We do the morning glow every day, Monday through Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday we have topics that we talk about. But Wednesday, Rico, it's a different kind of day. What is Wednesday called?
You're way out Wednesday.
Way out Wednesday, where like I say, sometimes we get so silly, we don't know what to do with ourselves. Sometimes it's a serious conversation. Sometimes it depends on the day, I guess it is, and what we're talking about at that particular time. But I want you all to join us. And it's gonna be some silly in there. Some kind of way it's gonna be some silly in there. I promise you that. So if you're not busy tomorrow, every day, Monday through Friday from 7 until 10, join us right here for DKM Media Group and Associates for the Morning Glow. And with that being said, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Raheen Ashimi Show for being a part of your evening. It is now 9:09. You're about to exit the Raheen Ashimi Show. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple, I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be there last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great night and a better tomorrow. And we're Sean Simmons live to you from the Raheen Ashimi Show. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. Get an opportunity to give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great evening. Take care of each other, and please, please, please be blessed. Give somebody some love and truth. They would appreciate it, and I'm sure that you will as well. Y'all take a look at this new intro we got for the Raheen Ashimi Show. I like this thing, man. Got some good singing going on too. But anyway, y'all have a great evening.
Get ready. I want you to get ready. Only thing I want you to do is to be ready. This is the broadcast that will talk about open and honest conversations every time we come live. I want you to get ready. Get ready, prepare yourself. Things happen all the time. There's always things coming at us. Get ready, strap your seatbelt on real tight, and get ready because you are embarking in. This is
The